you know, I had it for 10 years. I grew it, I think, second season of Angel. It ended up going 5 years, and then I've always had it. So it was. I only cut it once, which was in the movie, in a movie called Hyde, where I have long hair at the beginning, and then I ended up going to prison, so they cut it off, and that was the last time. I feel like Samson, man. I feel like I've lost my shit, but I'm all right. That was one of the things when I got the role. They called and said, "So you got the role?" And I was like, "Oh." Dean goes, "You have to cut your hair." I was like, "All right, that's fine."
So on the heels of that, you've got quite a history in TV. So you talk about your evolution, as what you bring from your TV experience to this.
Well, work ethic. I mean, that's a big thing. People don't realize, and you know, it's not woe is us. We're very fortunate. I've been blessed. Everybody here has. But people don't realize that you work anywhere from 12 to 15-hour days, and it's every day. And a lot of people just think, oh, well, they show up and they get their makeup done and somebody feeds them, you know, a banana and some Coke, and they show up for a couple hours and they go home and get to live this life. They don't realize, you know, in the crews they're even longer than us. They don't realize that it's actually, it's grueling. I love it. I wouldn't trade it for the world. And like I said, it's not woe is us or woe is me, but it's unbelievable. So you have to have that. You can't, it's tough for people. I've seen it. I've seen people come in from the movie world. I've seen people that have only done film and come in and try to do a TV show, and they don't get it. I mean, it's still hard working on a film, but you don't work the hours. You don't work the. You don't get 8 takes. You get maybe 2 takes, and we're on to something else because, you know, the money and the time wise for television. So you have to have a strong work ethic. That's probably too much I'm talking, but it's like what you do. You have to have a strong work ethic, and that's from the people that I've worked with, from Joss Whedon to Steven Spielberg to John Rogers and Ian Devlin. That's something that they've instilled in me, and I appreciate them for it.
Now, you were in, obviously, Angel, and you played quite a complex and sometimes very bad character.
Right. Which is always.
Yeah, but one of the things I think, I love Lindsay. That's my name. So.
Thank you.
But one of the things I think people loved about Leverage so much is that all of the characters, while they came from different aspects, they really came together as a family. And, you know, everybody else was talking about all these characters coming together as a family. So how is it working on these shows where characters really form this bond?
Well, it's great. And that was, you know, that was the one thing, that was one of the problems with Leverage, was the fact that we all got really close really quick. They threw us in Chicago and we did the pilot, and they threw us in Los Angeles and we did and we became too close too quick. And so we're like, wait a minute, we got to back up. You know,
you as the actor too,
as us as the actors, and you know, Aldous Hodge is one of my dearest. He's my brother. He's one of my best friends in the world, and we don't like each other on that. You know what I mean? So we had to find. I was like, hey man, what's going on? I was like, wait, we wouldn't shake hands. We had to do all that stuff. So talking about, I said that to say this. So then you've got me and Rebecca showing up on set, right? Who I've known for a long time. And also she's, I played her brother on King and Maxwell, a show that was just on the air. And so now we don't know each other, and we don't necessarily know if we like each other on the show just yet. But then she's my sister, and I take care of her, and I gotta watch. So I had to watch that. I don't know. She probably didn't have a problem with that. She's a great actress, but I was having to watch the fact that, you know, that she, you're not my sister. You're somebody that actually is pissing me off. You know what I mean? So you have to unlearn stuff like that. And but the great thing is that we don't see it, not even as actors really, and not even as characters, but what the public is going to see. Is the fact that these people are becoming a family, because every single person, every single one of us, we come into this situation as broken toys. The world doesn't really accept us. I hide mine so nobody knows about it. Lindy has been shunned, and John, nobody likes him, his character. And yeah, I love it today. But nobody, you know, I hide mine so that, but everybody else is like, so we're broken toys, and they force us to come together, which creates a family environment. And it's and that's what's going to be fun. And another thing I want to say, and I know no one's asked me this, but it's very important because I know John Rogers just left. That's what he does. You're a fumble. Thank you for watching Leverage, and I hope that you're a fan. That was what was so specific with John, is it was not a 5-man team, it was 6 people. The audience, the guy sitting on the couch, the girl sitting on the couch, she was on the team too. That's what John has done so brilliantly with this show, is he's brought whoever's on the couch, whoever's, you know, he's like given us their hard-earned day to watch our show. He puts them in the show. And that's what's great, because I love movies where I'm actually a part of it, you know what I mean? And there's some great TV shows out there, but you're watching somebody, you're not a part of it. He's going to walk you through this with us. And I think that that's just absolutely brilliant, brilliant writing. Not a lot of people can do that in this world, and John Rogers is one that can.
Well, you worked with both Dean and John on Leverage.
where you were Elliot, which is a lot more physical role. How does it go to change to being Jake, who's not as physical?
Tough transition. That was one thing. It really was. That was a tough transition because the first thing they said was cut your hair.
There you go.
And then Dean called me back and goes, also, I need you to unlearn everything you know about fighting. I was like, he's like, you're a bar fighter, you're a street fighter, you're not, you know. And I was like, oh, well, I can do that. He's like, no, I need you to be prepared and want to fight, but I need you to not know how to fight. So all the precision stuff that we did, you know, was like, you know, that I've done my whole life. When it was Lindsay coming back to Angel, when it was Elliot's been Strong Leverage, and a couple of other films. I have to forget that, and that's very tough for me because, you know, I've trained and I know this stuff. I'm good at it. And I'm freaking good at it. I've never had a stunt, not one time did anybody stunt me on leverage. Not one fight. I'm a fight choreographer. I did this stuff. This is what I'm good at. And they were saying, we love you, but you can't do that. And I'm going, that's my thing. They're like, we want you to act. I'm like, fuck the act. Let me, I'm hitting. What? So I had to unlearn everything to play this guy. So instead of being Elliot and fighting with precision, I got to be up there with the bar. You know, I've seen these guys. I've you know, fought them and won and lost to a couple. But I got to be this guy that doesn't know that much about it. And for me, I didn't know how I would take that, but it's become very fun for me. It's become a challenge, and it's great. And you know, I got to be honest with you, it hurts a lot more to get beat up than it does to beat people up. I think I've hurt more this year by getting beat up than I had 5 seasons of leverage where I beat everybody up. And there's 10,000 more fights, but it's fun, and it's you know, you can't play the same character for the rest of your life. And there's also, so you guys know, huge talk about doing a leverage movie, so I'll probably get to do this guy.
I have a question. Which hurt more, not unlearning the fighting or cutting your hair?
Cutting the hair was a little bit, yeah. Well, I was ready for it because it was a lot, but it was like, you know, like I did feel like Samson. It's always been something I could go back to. It's always been a safety blanket, and I didn't mean for it to be. It's not like I loved my hair, but it's just been there for so long. It's very strange for a guy to have long hair and be cast in roles that allowed him, in some cases, made him have long hair, you know. And I based when we first started Leverage, I talked to John and Dean. I based this character on Richard Marcinko, who was the founder of SEAL Team 6, and he was known, you know, wanted dead or alive, $1 million dead or alive in so many countries, and his picture was up in every, you know, third world country that they wanted him dead, and so the Navy allowed him to grow a beard and grow long hair, and so that was kind of my thing. I was high and tight, I'm sure, when in Elliot's first, when in his career, but then when he became a criminal and so many people knew him, as we all did, took into hiding. His hair was his cloak.
Looks like you have a really solid relationship with your fans because
I do.
Well, you have such series that, you know, they get passionate about each of the series you've been involved with. Are you a bit of a fan yourself, or a geek in your own way?
Absolutely.
What are the things you are?
100%, man. I grew up with comic books. I still play video games to this day. I mean, I'm too old to be playing video games for 9 hours, and I'll do it. I think I finished freaking Uncharted in 17 hours. And
you know, claim it as research.
Absolutely. Yeah. And exactly for this role, exactly. But yeah, I'm like level 28 on Destiny right now.
Oh, yeah, that game sucks.
I'm dead serious. I'm not even lying about that. And so that's my friends / fans, the Caniacs. And if I was on a show, I just had a conversation about this. If I was on a show, great shows, by the way, say The Blacklist, say CSI, it'd be an honor, it'd be great. But I wouldn't connect with my fans. I wouldn't get to see them in situations like this as I do now. Being on genre shows is the best thing in the world for me because I'm a geek at heart. I just happen to hit people a lot harder than most. But these are my people, and if I was on a show like that, they've been so supportive for me, and I'm sure that they would still be there. I owe them a lot. I owe them everything. But they like those shows, I guess. I don't know. But I know they love these shows. And so this is where I get to pay them back for being there for me. And that's what makes it so much fun. That's why coming here is just, you know, anytime you get a chance to come to Comic-Con or do a convention anywhere in the world, I jump at it just because I love seeing them. And it's very important for me. And I'm not saying this just to say you guys write good shit about me, but it's very important for me to pay them back. Because a lot of the reason why I'm here is because John knows that they're great people and they'll come watch this show. And so I have to pay them back because they've given me a life. They've given me a career.